Yes, yes. Okay. Right, here we are. Okay, Sylvia.
Okay, sir. Sylvia.
Mm.
As an enthusiastic new college graduate, Sylvia spent a year working as a volunteer in the local library.
Mm.
Then, as her first real job, she took up a post as an assistant librarian.
Mm.
She introduced books by her favorite authors and was disappointed when many of these remained on the shelves. The covers as pristine as on the day she had unpacked them. I could have told you that would happen, said the senior librarian, who
Mm.
had worked there for many years, something which he thought made him an expert in recreational taste of the town.
Right.
Sylvia stuck it out for a year in
Mm.
that job before
Mm.
successfully applying for the post as children's librarian in another town. She moved
Mm.
to a cottage where the rent was justifiably low,
Mm.
but a librarian's salary.
Mm.
She couldn't have afforded anything else. The walls bore orange stains of damp and the paint was flaking. But the
Mm.
kitchen window had a lovely view of distant
Mm.
hills.
Distant here. Okay. Just
To
Sylvia.
Sylvia, brought up in an inner city, the cottage seemed picturesque.
Picturesque. Picturesque.
Picturesque. Outside the garden was overrun with implementable clumps of weeds, but the landlord hastily told Sylvia that it would be fine with the
It was.
minimum.
It was
Oh, I
overrun.
misread.
Mm.
Outside the garden was overrun with impenetrable clump of weeds, but the landlord hastily told Sylvia that it would be fine
Oh,
with the
you're right.
minimum effort.
Okay.
Sylvia's professions were easily complemented in the cottage's limited space. There was no bookshelf on which to house she most prized profession, but after packing out the window sills, she stacked as many as she could on the slanting shelves of the cupboard in the bedroom. With
Mm.
all its apartment and acquisitions, her new home offered promise. Sylvia was an only child, and long hours spent alone had encouraged in her the habit of reading,
Mm.
often by torchlight under the bedclothes
Mm.
far into the night. Every single Saturday morning, while her father reads a newspaper and her mother makes a martyr of herself over household chores,
Mm.
Sylvia walked down to the library. The librarian, Miss Jenkins, would set aside books she thought young girls would enjoy, and
Mm.
it was a shared love of reading that reinforced the special bond between Miss Jenkins and Sylvia.
Mm.
Practice in dealing with her mother's changing moods had made Sylvia easygoing, at least on the surface, and so she was not without friends. But
Mm.
it was Miss Jenkins who introduced her to new characters in fiction, who became her silent aliens, her
Mm.
sometimes more than friends, her shaping influences.
Mm.
Although Sylvia had a dreaminess that vexed her teacher, she did well enough to secure a college place to study to be a librarian.
Mm. Mm.
A job with a proper future, her
Mm.
mother said approvingly
Mm.
when her daughter revealed her career plan. She was
Mm.
privately relieved that her daughter's unexpected success in school play had not,
Mm.
as she had at the time period led to a request to go to a drama school.
Mm.
Apart from reading, the only other passion in Sylvia's family was her father's love of chess.
Mm.
He had been taught the game by a young soldier. Powell, with whom he had spent time in the army, and her father had revealed an unexpected flair for it. When they parted company at the end of their army careers together, Paul said, "You might as well have this," handing Sylvia's father the chess set with, with which he had learned the game, perhaps out of respect for his former companion, or perhaps in default of anything else to give her. Her father had attempted to pass this interest on to his only child. In the evening, when Sylvia had finished her homework, she and her father sat opposite each other at the kitchen table and played with the inherited chess set. Although she had no real talent for chess, Sylvia guessed an unmet desire in her father, which went beyond just playing chess, and out of loyalty did her best to master the game. It was a defining moment for them both. One Sylvia never forgot. When she contrived one evening to beat him. "You might as well have this," her father said unconsciously, repeating the words with which he had been given the modest wooden box on which the scratch in um, initials of his former colleagues were still visible. "With you gone, I won't have anyone to play with."
Right. So here, this whole incident, you see, it is in the past tense. And from
Yes, sir.
the beginning, I had these words when I first read a few lines in the beginning. So I
Mhm.
immediately came to know that it's past tense. Past tense is like this. Okay, these are the 6 signs. Okay, you'll see them that they have been used in each and every sentence to make the past tense. Okay, they don't break this whole one. Okay, so here you see as an antithesis could graduate Sylvia spent S plus 2. Okay, you can see this S plus 2. And this is past tense. Okay, when you are writing, you should also keep these things in your mind. Okay. So this is past tense. You will not see is, am, are, or has, have, or s plus one, or can. Okay, now these are prohibited. You will not see will, shall in this whole story. Okay, and now see if there is, I'll find the reason why it is so, but I'm sure it will not be. Then, as her real job, she took. Okay, S plus 2. Her librarian, she introduced S plus 2. Okay, understand this? She
Yes,
introduced
sir.
this is S plus 2. Okay, books by her favorite authors, and was, okay, was is a sign of past. Was disappointed when many of these remained, okay, many remained S plus 2, okay, on the shelf.
Okay, sir.
Their covers as pristine as on the day she had past sign, okay. Them, I could pass. I could have told you that you would. Wood is a sign of past, you know. Said
Yes, sir.
that is a sign of past. S plus 2. Had is a sign of past. You understand this? So it is very,
Yes, sir.
very simple to remember that what we have to do, we do not mean to break this circle. Okay? This one was
Okay, sir.
as when you are writing in the past, you remain within these. Okay? Don't go out of this. It means do not use is MR, do not use has have, do not use S plus one, and do not use can or and do not use will shall. Okay? So this
Okay, sir.
and the other things are allowed. Okay? The rest is was one had as opposed to could with only 6 signs, 5 words, and 6 is a type of sentence. You know, the whole story you will see the same. Okay? And
Yes.
Sylvia's possessions, yeah, this were is you see past. You understand? These signs are
Yes.
easily visible, each and every line. You see was. This is making past. Sylvia stuck S plus 2. All right?
Yes,
So
sir.
when you are writing in the past, you should remember the signs of past was, were, had, S plus 2 could, would. And when you are giving opinions, opinions are in present tense. So you should always keep this is, am, are, has, have, S plus 1 can. So I think your summary was, I have forgotten even which tense it was. Let me check it. Okay.
Yes.
So it was
Past present.
opinion. It was all your opinion, and opinion is in present tense. Okay. But when you are giving your opinion and you need to prove a point, then you take help from the past tense. Otherwise, normally we stick to the present tense. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now we
Sir,
should
I
see.
wanna ask you something.
Uh,
Sir, can we write like something from our own side in summary?
yes. No.
We
Summary is
call the past.
that relating to the anyway for your practice you can write anything. I don't restrict you that you cannot. But the thing is that summary is relating to the um this
Past.
okay, this is I'm sending you these pictures. Okay, you can
Okay,
clearly
sir.
understand the present, past, and future. You should learn this. Okay, this is
Okay,
important.
sir.
In schools, we learn tenses and grammar like this: tenses, present, past, future, and then we come to indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect, continuous. Then we move on to simple, negative, interrogative, negative, interrogative, and then active and passive. Okay, but if you
Yes, sir.
this is a wrong way or long way, okay? But if you move on to this side, we don't have any complications. We need to tenses means we should be able to identify present, past, and future. And the signs of present are is, am, are, has, have, S plus one can, and the signs of past are was, were, had, S plus two could, would, and will and shall. This is the safe side, okay? I send you the uh, picture of this. This is very important and you should keep in mind, okay? And learn them. I always keep this green part in my mind. Okay, here we are. Here, these are the tenses, okay? And this image tells you about tenses, and the next one is about grammar. I also see this. Given grammar, we go to the wrong side. It's the same present, past, future, indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect, continuous, simple, negative. This is not the complete picture, but if you come to this side, in the grammar, if you don't learn the use of verb forms, then it's a mistake. There's a big mistake. Okay, you should avoid this. And I wish that you people stick to the use of verb form. This is the most important thing. Okay, and good that when you are writing, you are making proper use of verb form. That is why whatever you write is correct. The second thing is that you should not mix present with past, present, shuffling from present to past, past to present. Um, this is not very good for the students to write. Okay, if they are writing in the present, they should stick to that, and if they are writing in the past, they should stick to the past tense. All the events, all the history are in the past tense. So, okay, have a look at this, okay? Tenses and how I understand and how normally people understand. And this is the comparison between the conventional methods and my method, okay? They will help you understand what I always talk about. Now, so here are some you see question answers. We should finish them very quickly. Okay, the answers are read paragraphs, okay. And here we are, 3A. So Sylvia took up a post as an assistant librarian. Why was this her first real job? Okay, she spent a year working as a volunteer. Okay, but she was not paid for that. So that is why this was her real job. She had the experience of working as a librarian, but at that time she was volunteer. She was working without salary. So why was Sylvia disappointed? Okay, many of the books she introduced. Okay, people did not touch the reading is a great thing, but people even did not even touch the books. Okay, so the books they remained quite unintact. Many of the books she introduced or broad order remained on the shelf. Okay, and nobody or few people borrowed the books that she introduced. That means the books were the same, neat and clean, and people did not take interest in reading those books. 3C, the senior librarian thought that he was an expert in the recreational tastes of the town. Explain in your own words what he thought. The senior librarian thought he knew all about everything, or he knew a lot, something about. And why was this? Where is because about authority on a specialist. The senior librarian fully understood, understood about an authority, a specialist, not master knowledge, a professional at working. I think there should be reason for why. What people in the town? Actually, this senior librarian, he knew the liking and disliking of the people. So that is why he was a kind of authority on that. What people liked and what people disliked, I mean, the shelves like because. Okay, this is because he knew the tastes of the people, because he knew liking and disliking of the people. Okay, 4A from paragraph 2. The rent was justifiably low. Why do you think the low rent was justifiable? It was a poor condition of the cottage, the house, the place, property was in poor, bad condition. So that was the reason. The poor condition was of the cottage, so that's why low rent was justified. 4B, which one feature of the cottage made it seem picturesque and to Sylvia window? Okay, beyond when you look through the window, you can see some hills at the distance. Okay, so the kitchen window had a lovely view of the distant hills. She could see distant hills from the kitchen window. The kitchen window is the important thing. 4C, which items were Sylvia's most prized possessions? So they were the books. Okay, her books were very important to her, very valuable to her. 5A from paragraph 3, give two pieces of evidence which show that Sylvia loved reading books. Okay, number one, she often read the torchlight under the bedclothes, blankets. She would read at night by torchlight. Okay, so she loved reading. She even read books in her sleeping time. She often read far into late at night. Okay, when it was sleeping time, she was even then reading books. Number two, she walked down to visited the library every single Saturday morning. Okay, she was regular visitor of the library. This also suggests that she was interested in the reading. Number three, characters in fiction that became her silent allies, sometimes more than friends, shaping influences. Okay, she had a great interest in the characters of the stories. Okay. 5B, what emotion do you think Sylvia's mother felt as she did the household chores? Self-pity, she was not very happy that her daughter was not taking interest in everyday chores of life, and she was feeling sorry for herself, resentful. She was sometimes angry, bitter, frustrated, grieved, or burdened, irritated, annoyed. Okay, and she was not very happy with Sylvia because she was not taking interest in the household job. Sylvia had practiced. in dealing with her mother's changing moods. What had this helped her to do? It was to make friends, okay, and to befriend others, to have more friends, okay. That means that she learned when the people were very angry, and she learned how to calm them down, okay. So it became good quality of her, and it was easy for her to make friends with others. Sylvia, now from paragraph 4, Sylvia had a dreaminess that vexed her teachers. Explain in your own words how Sylvia's teachers felt about her. Sylvia seemed in a world of her own, far away, distant, detached, dozy, and her teacher कैसे feel कर रहे थे? Okay, her teachers, they were worried, okay, which worried, annoyed, bothered, irritated, annoyed the teachers. She was always absent-minded, and that's why her teachers were not very happy with her. 6B. Which career did Sylvia's mother want her to avoid? Okay, acting, actor, or acting. Sylvia's mother did not like her to become an actor. 7A. Sylvia had no real talent for chess. Chess is a game, you know. Give the word used earlier in the paragraph which conveys the idea of talent. That is flair. Flair means talent, okay? Well, good addition to the knowledge. 7B, Sylvia guessed an unmet desire in her father, which went beyond just playing chess. What do you think this unmet desire was? It was to have something he had Sylvia, his daughter, could do together, okay? It was that he wanted to share his experience of playing chess with his daughter, but perhaps she was not interested. To have a bond with, spend quality time with, much closer to, at something, have something in common with Sylvia, his daughter. He wanted to spend his time with her daughter, and what he could do, it was if Sylvia took interest in chess game, they could sit together, but she was not interested in that. She was more interested in reading. So that was unmet desire of the father. Okay, he could never properly get company of his daughter. He wanted Sylvia, his daughter, to share inherit his passion, interest in chess. Okay, but Sylvia was not interested in that. 8, there are some words given and multiple choice are there. The meanings of A, the word A is that feeling, and word B is failing, and C1 is with agreement. The real words are in the question paper. I don't see here. So that's why I have it. I can read only the meanings, managed and simple. So that is it. Okay, 9. Reread paragraph 2, which contains expression telling us about Sylvia's first real job. Sylvia's landlord gave the meaning of it. Okay, here we have, and these are the phrase that we give the meaning and the impact or effect of that. Sylvia stuck, stuck it out for a year. That means that Sylvia continued, meaning that Sylvia stayed in or remained or endured. She worked, you see, as a volunteer librarian for 1 year. Effect. Sylvia was felt unhappy, unenthusiastic, unwilling, reluctant, unfamiliar, unfulfilled. Okay, she was not coming to her professional life, so that is why she was not very happy, but not very satisfied with her previous job. 9B, the landlord hastily told Sylvia, meaning the landlord quickly, hurriedly told Sylvia And the landlord spoke immediately without hesitation or pausing. Okay, that means that quickly he spoke about the cottage, I think. And the effect was the landlord, he is anxious, desperate, eager for Sylvia, her to rent the cottage. Okay, he spoke very quickly because he was not sure that Sylvia um, he would agree to take the cottage on rent. Okay, so he was not sure. That is why he was speaking more and he was speaking quickly without stopping. So this is the effect. The Lord, okay, next one, the Lord worried, okay, Sylvia, she will change her mind. Okay, this is that he was sure that Sylvia would say no to rent his cottage. That is why he was just counting the good things of the cottage, and he wanted that Sylvia should agree to rent that cottage for the library. So this is all. Hope in the end of the class, and just 2 minutes are left. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, I'm sorry to be late. There was some work going on here at my house, so that's why I
It's fine.
could not make it on time. Okay, thank you very much for being with me. Have a blessed night. Goodbye.
Good night, all of us.
Good night, Allah Hafiz.